Happy Halloween, all you ghouls and goblins out there. Oh my goodness, we're hoping everybody's staying safe this weekend. That's for sure, because it's getting a little crazy out there.
Yes.
The temperature is getting a little chilly. The booze is getting a little crazy. We're so super happy to be back, though, for ITCAF podcast, but
Yes.
a much needed fall break, right?
Absolutely. Even we need time to step back, reset, recharge, refresh, mentally and physically. It's a grinding thing what we do, and we just every now and then need a break. So
It's true.
that
It's
it's
true,
but
man. I mean, I know you had like a much needed little vacay with your mom, so I
I
thought that was
did.
really cool.
I did.
I've been, trying to relax a little bit, get back to exercising at least 4 times a week, even with the chillier weather, trying to
Absolutely.
dress accordingly, trying to figure out what's gonna be the fashion sense a part of my wardrobe. But yeah, I'm getting the film edited, the list that I'm currently in production on. That's been super
Yes.
fun. I found my color tone that I really like for the film, so
That's
that's
good.
really cool. Color grading is something I'm completely new to, though, but I'm excited for the journey that I'm about to embark on.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, man, rocking and rolling, doing good.
Hell yeah, yeah. I'm getting ready to go into production on that, which is even more so why I took a break before going into it, because it's like crazy. That's a lot of stuff. So you need to be ready for it, because when you're trying to balance everything, if you overdo, well, that's a bad thing. So, but yeah, dude, I'm excited, and I'm excited to get back to it, and not just for that on the film, but also with the podcasts and just like, yeah, man.
It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be great. Well, today, since we just had the re-release of our film Deadlines, we're
Yes.
gonna be talking all about the process of making that film, what went into it, and what got a little crazy on set. Man, oh
Yeah.
man. If y'all didn't listen to our first episode, if you're new here, yes, we are filmmakers. We love the podcasting, entertainment, news, all that aspect, but we are here to tell stories that start conversations, and that's what we do. And man, oh man, so let's dive into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like
It
my
was
favorite
good.
movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode 311 this
Woo!
week. Oh my goodness,
Yes.
absolutely wild. The air is getting chilly, like I said, rocking and rolling, man.
Yes.
We're super excited to be back, but it's going to be a great freaking show. We're super excited.
It
But before
is.
we jump into that, be sure to leave a comment down below. Tell us what you actually think about this show. Because if you didn't know, leaving a rating on the podcast actually helps people find this podcast.
Facts.
Especially like if you tell your grandma, your aunt, your buddy at work at the water cooler. Do people even stand around water coolers anymore?
Yes,
I want to
absolutely. I
know.
think it's a water fountain now, right? Or like maybe the water cooler still if they
Yeah,
want
or they
some
have
good
those water
water.
fountains that you can put your water bottle under, and then
Yes.
that's
Yes.
probably what we stand
That,
around. That's probably what we
no doubt.
stand
No
around.
doubt.
But yes, be sure to tell all your friends and colleagues about ITCAF Podcast, the latest and greatest entertainment-based podcast that talks about all the entertainment news going down in Hollywood, man.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how we get publicized. That's how we get shares. That's how we get likes, all the things, all the stuff. And of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got a little Halloween gear on there right now.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to be having some Christmas gear, some Thanksgiving gear. So be sure to check out the website. Like I said, www.crazyantmedia.com. You can find out about our projects and anything and everything going on here at Crazy Ant Media.
Yes.
But man, oh man, we're going to be talking all about Deadlines, our short film that we released a couple years ago and now re-released for this Halloween. Man, oh man, sitting back on it, thinking, reflecting, we really did put a lot of effort into it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when we first found the scripts, because if all you up-and-coming filmmakers don't know, there is a screenplay website. What was it called again?
Simply Scripts. It's called
Simply
Simply
Scripts.
Scripts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can go on there, you can submit your scripts, you can find scripts, and then email the writer and try to either option it, get the rights to it, do whatever you have to do to go into production and develop that particular script if you would like. So that's what we did. Went into the process, and I believe his James Brandon or Brandon James.
Yeah. Yep. James
So
Brandon.
he
James Brandon.
James
Yep.
Brandon, he wrote the script,
He did.
and it was completely different from, well, not completely different, still loosely based around like school shooter premise, but we did change some things. He gave us his blessing on doing that, and I'm trying to remember development to
Well,
getting on set. Do you remember how long of a process that
yeah,
was?
and I want to clarify to people too that it's really rare to have happen what happened with us. We got very lucky with James. This section that you go to on Simply Scripts is unproduced scripts, and people upload them in hopes of finding a production company or a producer that will make their movie. And typically you option the rights to make the movie from the writer. It's a whole process of an option purchase agreement that you go through. You purchase the option and say you have this much time to make the movie. If you don't get it done, they get the rights back to it. If you do get it done, you purchase the rights from them. But with James, he was just like, I don't want any of that. You guys are good to go. I just want a credit and I want to see it when it's done. That's very rare. So that eliminated a little bit of the timing between the development and getting on set, because that's a process in itself, negotiating all that and getting it done. But yeah, I think from the time that we found the script, reached out to James, got permission to do it, and the time that we literally stepped on set and yelled action, it was, I want to say 4 or 5 months. It was, we immediately started the casting process, and the casting process alone took 2 months, maybe a little longer than 2 months. And yeah, one of my favorite parts about just filmmaking in general, not just with deadlines, but filmmaking in general, is the casting process. It's the finding the right person to bring those characters into the real world, if you will, to life off the page. And I think you and I knew early on. We were, as you mentioned, as you teased, it was not poorly written at all. It was very well written, actually. But it was the standard, guy shoots up campus, mad over the girlfriend type of a thing. And when we started the casting process, we knew it was more than that. We saw something more than that. And throughout the course of the casting, we started making decisions. We started making changes to how we wanted to play it out. And of course, it was COVID. So that changed a lot of things. The casting process in general was drastically different from how casting would normally be because of COVID. And it was very, very interesting. It was the way it all kind of came together when we just talk about how I just kind of got this feeling when we were watching the actors and actresses read the lines, do the scenes. It was like something was off, right? When did you think you knew, like, maybe this needs to be different? Maybe there's something we can go in a different direction here. When did you kind of feel it? I knew almost right away in the casting process. It was like something's off here.
Yeah, we did about 3 or 4 chemistry reads. And if y'all don't know, chemistry reads are when you get two potential actors or more potential actors together to see if they have chemistry on screen, to see if they can play off of each other. And we did that, and like we had like very good actors and actresses in their individual roles, and some of them had chemistry,
Yeah.
but we were just wanting to do something different. We wanted it to be more relevant to current day times, and yeah, we wanted to adapt to current day society. So I think I remember specifically, like, it was at nighttime. I don't remember where we were going. We were stopped at a stoplight, and I recommended, us making it a lesbian couple instead of the stereotypical white male, white female. And then you were like, okay, let's make it an interracial lesbian couple. So we kind of like geared our energy more towards that. But furthermore, it was interesting to try to navigate to find the right people,
Right.
because as far as casting, you can go out and you can try to look for those specific actors, but it's very hard to do. Not a lot of people list things on IMDb because, I mean, some people, well, especially starting out, they're trying to do so much at one time and then not like put all of their stuff on IMDb. So it's way more beneficial you look, if you're an actor up and coming, look through the IMDb submissions and submit yourself. Luckily enough, we found Cara Burns and Jessica Mia, and their chemistry like was phenomenal. It
Yeah.
was very, very exceptional, and just to see like their dynamic range when Cara was more of a theater actor, and then Jessica had been on some bigger name productions, but of course more in the background. So to give them this opportunity, I felt like was such a blessing in disguise, because we really didn't know what we were going to see. They both came from drastically different backgrounds.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, really, they brought the characters to life. We knew what we wanted, but like we were still trying to figure it out. But then when we saw them do a chemistry read, that's when like the fireworks started exploding. They brought the
Absolutely.
characters and story to life.
And I think when we made the decision to go with two females instead of a male female, and to go interracial, and to explain why we wanted to go interracial, is the original script was very white. And we wanted diversity is extremely important to us. So we wanted to go interracial because we wanted to include more diversity in the story. Initially we were doing a lot of black and white actresses, and then Jessica showed up. And Jessica, if you guys aren't familiar, if you haven't seen the film, Jessica is Asian, and we knew, I mean, she blew us away with her self-tape, and we knew, but we were also cautious. It's like, because as I said, we were doing it during COVID, and we happened to have had a president at that time that was calling COVID the China virus, and was basically, there was so much Asian geared hate going on in the country because everybody was flared up thinking it was caused from China. And that had to be a discussion. We were like, man, she's so good, and we want diversity and we want interracial, but do we risk, with the Asian hate going on right now, do we risk that? Is that going to drive people away from this? But as filmmakers, it's all about taking a chance. It's all about staying true to who you are as storytellers. And we knew she was the right person for the role. And we locked in on Jessica right away. And we had seen Cara before. She had done the self-tape. We liked her. But we had several candidates. But like Logan said, it's when they read together, it was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's it. That's our people right there. And it was something really special. And maybe we'll post some footage of the read together, the chemistry read, where we just knew, where it just came together, and you're like, bam, that's our people. But that's not the end of it, though, right? Then you have to get into, and keep in mind, guys, when we were doing the casting for this, it was not easy because a lot of people found out what the storyline was and what it dealt with. LGBTQT, bullying, it was interracial, there was gun violence, and we got a lot of people pass. They submitted for it and then found out what the story was going to be, and they passed. They're like, nah, we can't, we're just not into that. Including crew. Crew was like, they accused us of being right-wing MAGA whatever, far-left progressive assholes. Like, it was so interesting seeing people and how they reacted to the story that we had locked into telling. But Cara and Jessica were amazing. They were like, let's go. Let's do it. We are on board. We understand the controversy. We're okay with it. let's do this. And when you get actors like that, then things are rolling in the right direction and it's going to be good, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we even had like a little meet and greet
Yeah.
before the film actually took place. I believe it was like a month or two prior to actually being on set, and we got some behind the scenes like photography shots
Yep.
because those are a critical role in the film. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to go watch that. You'll see the behind the scenes because they're in a relationship, so they need to have pictures hanging up,
Right.
whether that be on, computer screen or just hanging up on like a
Long-term
mirror or
relationship.
anything. Like, yeah, so they're together. So we needed to show that they've been together. So that was a very awesome meeting because they both took to each other so freaking well. I remember we were driving around. It's in Davidson, North Carolina, and there's a college campus there that they let us use to just take pictures and little swing sets here, little park benches there. That was a very awesome experience. And then even like going to another location, everybody just kind of piled into one car.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool experience because like they felt comfortable with us, and that's what we want to do as producers, directors, creators. We want to make everyone around us feel comfortable. We want them to know that we're trying to get the best intention out of everyone,
And that
and
it's and that it's a
because
safe environment. It's
yeah.
going to be, because in this meeting, if we can show this is a safe environment, this is going to be how it is, then the idea behind that is this is the type set we're going to run. This is the type environment you are going to have on set. It is going to be a safe environment where you can say what you think. If you're uncomfortable, say it. We want you to and yeah, it was extremely important to do that, especially with the subject matter that we were dealing with. What I also thought was really cute is when we were walking around the campus, most of the people, because there were college students there, it was during, and people are walking around. Everybody thought they were a real couple. They they were automatically so believable as a couple. People genuinely thought that they were together, and they had literally just met each other. It was like unreal to see them together. You would have thought they had been together forever, and they were literally just meeting. Which was really something awesome to watch, how they bonded and how they came together. Was really unique and very cool to kind of see. And yeah, it's special little things like that, just little behind the scenes things before you even get on set that are so critically important. We like you had said, not only were the pictures props and crucial and critical to the telling of the story, but it's also publicity, behind the scenes photos and stuff like that. The poster for the film is a photo from that day, and how that works. And so very important to take the time to do that. And yeah, that was a fun day. That was a really fun day. That day kind of cemented also, like, you knew it was going to be a decent shoot. You knew everything was going to be okay. At least between directors and actors, we knew everything was solid and that it was going to go sharp.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, we also put together like a tight knit family type of crew as well, coming from everywhere basically. South Carolina, North Carolina, Atlanta. You had some people coming from way out of state, so that was a real blessing too because like they were all diverse as well, being able to jump on board and just navigate the whole entire process without even really asking any questions. That's how you knew that these people were professionals. And these were also through Facebook posts. Facebook
Yeah.
groups are also very important for indie filmmakers to network and connect with other indie filmmakers. So that's really how we did it. And I gotta just say, like, these people did it for no money. Like, they are such a freaking blessing to do that for us as first time filmmakers making this film. They did it for no money. We fed them, of course. We did every single meal. We took care of all of that, but they did it for credit and food and just the experience. And I mean, sometimes that's what you have to do. Yes, of course, you want to get paid for this.
That's right.
There's no doubt about it, and you deserve to get paid for this. But sometimes if you just love the art like we do, because we didn't get paid for this either. That's the thing. We didn't get paid for this either. We
No.
did all of this. We put about five to $8,000 into this 10-minute short film, and like this is what came out of it. So it is really for the love of filmmaking and storytelling, and that's how it is sometimes, even when you have to do very ultra low budget to where you're just gathering up all your friends who have no idea what they're doing but just wanting to see your vision come to fruition. So that is part of the process as well, and we're super blessed to have all of them. Our makeup artist was 16 years old
Yeah,
at the time, so
unreal.
she
Unreal.
had her mom come with her. Of course, we wanted a chaperone with her. She did an absolute amazing job, super talented, and honestly, like, could do anything she wanted. Like, she even went into like welding and all these different things. Sarah is freaking amazing. But yeah, all of our crew was an
And
epic like blessing to have on set.
absolutely. Sarah, you guys, was actually being pursued by Hollywood. And mom's like, you got to finish high school.
Yeah.
You know, that's how good she was, though. She was like legitimately at 16 already being pursued by like, okay, this girl can do makeup. We want her. And kudos to mom for saying, I'm all for your dream, but no, you're going to finish. And she was phenomenal. As you guys know, we did do it on a really low budget, okay? And we were blessed to have people volunteer their time, donate stuff, and allow that to happen. But when you guys, and this is really important, and I think it's why Deadlines was so successful and turned out so well and everything happened the way we wanted it to happen. Inexpensive doesn't mean don't do it right. We did everything right. There were contracts involved. Everybody was under contract. Everybody knew I'm getting this for this. I'm doing this for this. I'm getting this for this. Insurance, you have to insure the film. Don't ever not insure your film. It might seem expensive, and sometimes it is. But guys, if somebody trips on set, somebody busts equipment, you damage a location, you're going to want that insurance. It's critically important. So, and a lot of these guys on our crew, it's the first time they've ever worked on a production that had insurance. They're like, what? It's insured? I'm like, yeah, it's insured. It was critically important that we do it right. So, and I think that's important for everybody out there, all you aspiring filmmakers or first-time filmmakers that are getting ready to, don't skip steps. Make sure you're getting everything done. Sign those letters of intent, sign the actor contracts, sign the crew deal memos. Make sure you're filling out all the paperwork. Make sure you get the insurance. It's guys, it'll save you. Plus, it's how you learn. It's how you grow. It's how, when you do get to your first feature-length film and it has a hefty size budget, you know what to do. So treat every film like that, and it will work in your favor. And I promise you, our cast and crew appreciated that that's the way this film was run and that this set was run. It was important. When we were location scouting, we were looking, it takes place on a college campus. As we said, it's a college shooting. It was COVID. Getting on a college campus wasn't easy. But we found this amazing university in the Charlotte area, Johnson C. Smith University, and they happened to be shut down because of COVID. They had nothing going on. Their summer classes were all being done online. So the campus was open, and they were gracious enough to let us come and view it, take some pictures, discuss with them what we were kind of thinking. And when we got there, we knew right away. We looked at it and it was like, no, this is perfect. This will work. And especially since nobody's on campus. We don't have to shoot around people. We don't have to shoot schedules. We don't have to kind of worry about all the stuff that you would normally have to worry about when you close down a location. It was fantastic. And because of the situation, because of COVID, we had negotiated with the school to use a dorm room. And we were going to dummy out that dorm room. We were going to make it up, set up props, put up everything, shoot, and then we were going to take it all down and redress it completely different as the second dorm room. But because of COVID, there were some good things because of COVID. We ended up getting the entire building. They let us use the entire dorm building. So not only did we have 2 separate dorm rooms that we didn't have to dress, individually, or we were able to do that, but we had space for our equipment. We had space for craft services. We had space makeup room. We had, there was personal space if the actors needed to step away a little bit, regroup kind of a thing. We were able to have meetings. To discuss shots and it was such a blessing to get the entire building, right? Like that, because we went in for it and we were like, that's not going to happen. We're getting 1 room, and a hallway. And it's like, we're going to make it work. And then we're extremely blessed to just have that whole building, right?
Yeah, it was crazy because every like department basically had their own room.
Yes.
I mean, the directors had their own room, the freaking audio department, the lighting department, the cinematographer. Like, it was really cool. Like,
It was.
So we were super blessed for that. And like, it was an older school too, and an older dorm room. So like, there was also some interesting aesthetic pieces that like it had built-in cabinetry where it was a wardrobe and then some shelves and a mirror, like all of these cool like antique older like attributes to it that I felt like really added some character to the film.
Agreed.
And I felt like really made it really cool. So I really enjoyed that. And like I mean, talk about, when we first got on set with the first day, 5 o'clock call time, everybody's showing up on time, and then before there's any introductions made, everybody's unloading the production van. Like, this is something that we talk about all the freaking time, about how garnered and how committed to the project our crew was, and even our actors. Like, they were helping grab stuff out of the van. We were like, stop, what are you doing?
We literally had to tell them, it is not your job to pick up the gear.
Yeah,
just stop.
Did not have to do that. But yeah, it was such a cool experience to like just have those people who were so in love with the craft that they're like, no, let me help. So I thought that was really cool. And I love too that, we do have a prop gun in the film. It is a real gun with the firing pin taken out. We did definitely take all the precautions. Everybody checked it every single time before we used it. But we had to drive to Atlanta 5 hours away just to grab this prop gun and drive back. Only imagine if we got pulled over.
Yeah. It's so funny. Because they give you this sheet of paper to show the cops. It says, this is a movie prop gun.
Yeah.
But what happens if you lose that piece of paper?
Right.
Like, you misplace that piece of paper. Because now when you're dealing with movie prop guns, there are some rubber, there are some wooden, and then like Logan said, there are some this is an actual handgun with the firing pin removed. Well, you get pulled over, the cop doesn't know the firing pin's not in there. The cop just sees that's a real Glock. That is a gun. And we should explain, why did we have to drive to Atlanta to get it? Well, because they don't mail guns. Certain states will allow you, but North Carolina does not allow guns to be mailed. So
and there was no prop store.
And there was no prop stores. Yeah, so Atlanta was like, yeah, we got one. And we'll mail it. And then we're like, oh, where's it going to? Carolina. Oh, we can't mail it. I'm like, oh, okay. I like that you brought it up though, because you guys are, if you're cinephiles or filmmakers yourself, or just fans of film, I'm sure you heard about the situation on the Rust set with Alec Baldwin and the shooting. Now, our film took place, we shot it before that happened. But there are procedures when you have a gun. There are proper things that have to happen when you have a gun. All of those procedures were followed on our set. We made sure to adhere to every single rule that you're supposed to do. We even went a step further. The night before production, we went to our actress that was going to be handling the gun, and had her get used to it. Put this in your hand, hold it, feel it, check it, inspect it, take it apart, whatever you need to do to feel comfortable knowing that this is a safe tool when we go to shoot. That gun was locked up until she got her hand on it. That gun was locked up immediately after she did everything that night to review the gun. It remained locked until we were on set and ready to use it. The entire time it was locked. Um, Once it was removed, it went through every process and every person that it is supposed to go through to be checked. And even when it's handed to Kara, checked. It was checked by her one final time. Because if you guys haven't seen the film, there's a point where she puts this gun in her mouth. And while we all know it's incapable of firing, it doesn't matter. So if you ever choose to use a weapon, make sure you have an armorer. Make sure you are following every procedure, and it is laid out. You can find it in everywhere. The proper procedure when making a film and utilizing a weapon is out there. There's no excuse to not follow it. So but that was like it was so interesting. It was so intense because everybody was like, you know, the entire crew was like, "Oh, is that's real?" We're like, yeah, it is, and like, but I liked though, you know, like you said, from the time they got out, stepped out at that first crew call, you would have thought this crew had worked together on 30 films. And the way they grabbed the gear, the way they went immediately up and started setting up for the first shot, and they had never met each other, never, prior to stepping out of the van that day. And the way they worked, and then the way they were all proceeding with the caution of the gun, checking on the actors, making sure they were comfortable, like it was just a beautiful thing. You hinted at it at the top of the conversation. It quickly became a family. And that's what I love about filmmaking. Every film you make, every project, it's different people, it's a different story, it's a different location, but one thing stays consistent, and that's the family bonding that takes place. Once you've done a film together, you are forever linked. You are forever family. And because it's an experience that's shared that so few people get to do. And it's beautiful. The people that we had were just like amazing. And you know, a lot of those people, it was their first time ever on a set. Other times it was their first time on a set, but they had never been in a position that they were in on our film. And they were like, we took a chance on them because it's extremely important to us. And what I really liked about shooting this film as well is that we have been given a lot of opportunities in our career to allow us to get where we've gotten. And when Logan and I decided to do this thing, we were like, that has to be what Crazy Ann is all about. Giving opportunity to people like what was given to us. And so when somebody says, well, I've never been a first AC, but I can try. Yeah, damn right you can, right? And we're so proud to say that our first AC is now a cinematographer. Right, like straight up head guy, and that's a beautiful thing to see because we gave him a shot and he proved himself and he was able to use that and as a stepping platform to elevate to the next level. And that's a beautiful thing, right? To see people come together and just take a shot and realize they've got a skill that maybe they didn't even know they had, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, you know, to be able to inspire people, and I feel like that's what we did. We accomplished a lot on set as far as like making a beautiful film, I feel like, and starting conversations, but we also inspired the people who did come on and with our positivity and with our, you know, being able to move forward through adversity and through the negativity that is this world. Because like you said, I mean, we had people who denied the offer because they didn't want to get involved with a political satire, they thought. So yeah, it was a very interesting experience. But then, I mean, another interesting experience moving on to post-production, trying to figure that whole thing out. Man, oh man, one of the biggest lessons that I feel like both of us learned during that was we need to have an editor picked out during production, because we
Yeah.
didn't have an editor until after production. And man, oh man, that was quite difficult. We tried to gather up some people who, you know, were friends of ours, were acquaintances who wanted to take a crack at it, but it never really, like, we never figured it out. And I got to the point where, like, we even put together a rough cut to where, like, you know, here's what we have. Let's just find the right person. And we
Right.
luckily did find the right person, and they were able to deliver us the product that we have today. And we're so super thankful for that. But yeah, that was one of our biggest takeaways from this experience. Have an editor either before or while you're going into production so that they can review the dailies and maybe even start editing while you're still in production. That was, yeah, that process was a little
I
crazy.
think that's critical, and it goes back to what I was saying about do everything right.
Hmm.
Budget reasons were why we couldn't have the editor in place prior. And you know what? Moving forward, well, you have to look at that and go, well, part of the budget has to be for that. What else can we skip? But that can't be skipped, right? But that's the whole thing. It's a learning process.
It
It's
is
like that's
because
the
I mean,
whole
like you should really do crowdfunding and budget for each
each
phase of production, and
correct.
we only budgeted and did a for phase for production specifically.
Yeah.
And I again, being first time filmmakers, being the captain of this ship, this is what you learn through the process, but you don't learn it any other way
No,
unless
yeah.
you're literally, sitting and waiting. But yeah, we're so blessed to be able to have what we have now, and then be able to have basically a big premiere party for
Yeah.
all the people who donated, for all the production crew, for our actors, for us specifically. We even had a beautiful article written about us in the what was it? What was the article? What newspaper was it?
It was the Charlotte. I don't know. It's on our website. You can click
Yeah.
on it. The link is on the website. But yeah, it was a fantastic article about how we had shot locally. We chose to do the red carpet premiere locally because we wanted
Hmm.
to do it where we shot it. We felt that was the right thing to do. It was this beautiful old town cinema. Literally, guys, it's like the old school kind of movie theater that you go to, not this big Cineplex or whatever. And it's out of business now,
Yeah.
unfortunately. It
It
broke my
had like
heart.
eight
It's
screens and
yeah.
like I think like maximum like maybe 50 chairs in all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just
it was crazy.
the thing is though is don't skimp on this either. The red carpet is the payoff for the hard work. It's the party. It's the well done. It's the pat on the back. And it's the moment where people get to watch what you did. It's basically because by the time you finish up post-production, you've watched it way too many times to count. You've seen it. You're no longer coming at it from an objective viewpoint. It's time to put it out there and see what people think. And the premiere is the first crack at that. It's the first time people see it and you get feedback. And we had a little Q&A afterwards. I'm not going to lie, I was terrified. I was terrified about what people would think. It's like it's one thing, we think it's good, but even we think there are things we would have done differently, and how is it going to be? But there is really, I say it all the time that there is no greater feeling than being on set. When you're on set, working and making that film, it's just unmatched. Real close is seeing it released on the big screen, seeing it up on the screen. That is a feeling like the first time you see your name up on the screen, you see your product, your film up there on the big screen in a theater. It's an amazing feeling. And when we were doing the test run with it to make sure that it was exactly how we needed it to be for up on the big screen and the audio was good and we were like, that was powerful. But on premiere night, when you see the people start pouring in and the seats are filling up, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was a feeling like no other. And at the end of the film, I just remember standing with Logan, and it's like what felt like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. It was really only like 45 seconds. But there was this silence. And I'm like, oh my God, they hated it. They're like nothing. It's silent. They don't even know how to react. And then the applause came. And the huge round of applause and the cheers, and we walked in, and they're all just like, and we start the Q&A, and the second we start the Q&A, the questions that started coming, you knew that they got it. They got what you were trying to tell with the story. They understood the message that you were trying to say. They're entertained, right? That's important. As a filmmaker, you want to entertain, right? It's a film. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's a movie. But you also want to start dialogue and conversation, like Logan said. And this is uncomfortable content to have conversations about. And the second they started asking the questions, we knew we had accomplished what we set out to do. We made an entertaining film that was fun to watch, but also sparked conversation about difficult subject matter. And it was one of the most special parts of the night for me. I don't know about for you, but when they started asking the questions and we knew what we had set out to do, we had done, that was incredible.
Yeah, the whole experience really was. And I mean, going through different phases of the entire filmmaking process and then premiere night. Yeah, I mean, it was such a glorifying payoff. Because I mean, we don't do it for the applause. The applause is very nice.
It's very
We
nice,
love the
yeah.
applause.
But that's not, yeah.
We do it for the conversation, that Q&A. That's what we do it for. That's what, so we can dive into the nitty gritty. That's why we love doing this podcast, so we can dive into the nitty gritty of filmmaking, the moves that happen in the storytelling industry,
Yeah.
that the average Joe doesn't even think about. So I mean, we're super blessed to be able to continue to do this. Please be sure to go watch the film Deadlines. It's on our YouTube channel right now. The re-release is amazing. I love it every single time. And I mean, we've talked about this with our interns, with everybody here at the company. We go through phases where we're very nitpicky about it, or we're very much like, look at what we did. Look at what we did. And we're both glass half full type of people. So look at what we did. Go watch the film.
And for anybody out there aspiring to become a filmmaker, that's okay.
Yes.
You're going to go through phases where you love it and you hate it. And that's art. That's what art is. It's interpretive. And even the people who make the art will interpret it differently every time they view it. And that's the point of it. That's why art is so beautiful. That's why filmmaking is so beautiful, because that's what it does. And when you watch it, reach out to us, comment, let us know what you think, because everybody that watches this film has a different opinion about what they think this film means and what they think the ending represents. We as the directors had different points of view about what the ending meant. And so we want the interaction, guys. We want you to start that dialogue again. We want you to keep the conversation going. So hit us up. You can go to the website, and there's where you can message us there, or comment on social media or on YouTube, or we're so excited to hear what you guys think now that it's re-released. If you've watched it before, watch it again. I guarantee you're going to think something different when you watch it this time. And if you haven't watched it, we're so excited for you guys to watch it. It's the perfect time to do it right now, because the country is going through so much of what this film represents still. And I think it's so relevant right now. It's odd that you would make a film that 2-3 years later is still relevant, but Deadlines is, and we're proud of that. And if we can use that to help continue conversations about this subject matter, that's what it's all about. And yeah, so I'm excited for everybody to watch it again.
Most definitely. We have the link down below in the YouTube comment section. Please be sure to do that, and Spotify comment section, all the good things. But as always, thank you so much for listening to this podcast.
Yes.
Episode 311, another blast, man, another freaking blast. We'll be back to your regular scheduled programming next week. Super excited about it. We have so much other content out there on our YouTube channel right now, so be sure to check out Is It Worth It? We got some stuff going on there. Be sure to check out Everything's Okay, our mental health podcast. And of course, we're still reporting the latest and greatest industry news. Even if we don't have shows, we're still reporting on it, so be sure to check out those clips as well. And as always, be sure to follow us on all social media. The podcast is at ITCAFpodcast everywhere. The company is at Crazy Ant Media, and then we are also on social media. Myself at J Logan Austin, and
At Crazy Ant CEO.
that's right, man. That's right. And then, of course, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, so much more, man. And then, of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can learn a little bit of something about some crazy ants. That's for sure. That's for sure. And then, man, as always, as freaking always, of course, the star of our upcoming film, the one, the only,
Yeah.
Oprah!